Ford's third generation Explorer was the last one to claim the title of being America's best-selling SUV. Going for a pretty short run from model years 2002 to 2005, it wasn't the most competitive mid-size SUV on the market at the time due to the rising popularity in crossover SUVs. Now this Explorer is completely different from the one we have today, being based off of a truck, which means its underpinnings are more rugged and it has many truck-like characteristics. But let's go ahead and check out and take a closer look at this 2004 Ford Explorer Limited. Now this generation Explorer was introduced in 2001 for the 2002 model year. And when Ford introduced this Explorer, it was the first one to introduce the egg crate-like grille, which you will also find on the second generation Expedition. Now, sometimes it can be very hard to tell the difference between this generation Explorer and the second generation Expedition, as they look very similar to each other on the road. And this is actually my favorite generation of the Explorer. I really just love the looks of this generation. However, it probably wasn't the best one, and it certainly wasn't the best one in terms of sales. But our top of the line limited trim comes with these nice chrome wheels, and then you also do have a full-on leather interior as well as a sunroof. The limited is the top of the line trim here. Now it has a silver exterior color. Was one of the most popular colors for the limited trim. And then you also do have a keyless entry pad on the side right here. Full-on black leather interior. And as you can see, there's a tear in the seat, on the driver's seat. But what do you expect? It's a 12-year-old vehicle. You do have a power driver's seat with manual lumbar and manual recline. And it is also heated. Alright, now stepping on inside of the Explorer here, as you can see, our limited trim is dressed up pretty nicely with this nice wood grain interior trim and the black leather seats. The step-in height is actually not too bad for a body-on-frame SUV. And the running boards do help out quite a lot when getting in and out of the vehicle. And what you're hearing there is a 4-liter V6. Full leather-wrapped steering wheel. Coming to our transmission, we do have a 5-speed automatic transmission here. We have the good old classic column shifter, and you also do have an overdrive mode too. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the headlights and the hazards. Let's go ahead and check out the exterior of the vehicle. Let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Now the Explorer nameplate is one of the most recognized vehicle nameplates in America, and the Explorer was the one that started the boom of the SUVs back in the 1990s. Coming up front, we do have halogen headlights, and you also do have fog lights as well. Now this Explorer generation had two engine options, one of them being this 4-liter V6, which produced 210 horsepower at 5,100 RPM and 254 pound-feet of torque at 3,700 RPM, with EPA estimates being 13 in the city and 18 on the highway. Kind of glad those days are gone for most SUVs. Now, this 4-liter V6 was the most popular choice back in the day, but you could also go for a 4.6-liter V8 if you were looking for extra towing capability and extra power. But overall, this 4-liter V6 should suit everyone just fine, and it is single overhead cam. Trims of the Explorer start at the base XLS, then you have the XLS Sport, the mid-trim level XLT, which was the most popular trim level, then the XLT Sport, and then the Eddie Bauer, and then the top of the line limited like how we have here. Competitors of the Explorer back in 2004, you had the vehicles in the mid-size SUV class, which includes the likes of the Toyota 4Runner. You also did have the Nissan Pathfinder, as well as you did have the Toyota Highlander, but that was a crossover SUV. And you also had the Chevrolet Trailblazer. On the top you do have chrome roof rails. Coming to the rear of the vehicle, you do have rear parking sensors and a rear window wiper with a rear window defroster, as well as the third brake light. And a trailer tow hitch. Of course, you have full power accessories, power windows, power door locks, and your power mirrors. We also do have memory seats for 2 people. Now, interior quality was pretty average for the class back in 2004. Materials are okay. You have softly padded materials, kind of soft on the armrest, and then the mid-door panels leather wrapped, and it's nice and soft touch. On the dashboard, it's a little softly padded as well. Right here it's a little soft to the touch too, but most of the interior trim and pieces are hard touch plastic. Right here it's also hard touch plastic where you might rest your elbows. Build quality is okay. It's not the best in the class. The best in the class was certainly the Toyota 4Runner when it came to interior quality and build quality, but this is a pretty average interior back in 2004. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, I still love this old steering wheel from Ford. Very thin steering wheel rim compared to what we have today. You have your cruise control, and then right over here you have your volume controls and your temperature controls too. I'm surprised they don't include temperature controls on most vehicles nowadays, which is actually kind of surprising. Coming to the gauges and the instrument cluster, you have full instrumentation for the gauges. You have your fuel gauge, as well as your coolant temperature, and then your tachometer, speedometer, and then your battery voltage and your oil pressure. Over here we also do have your intermittent windshield wipers. Coming up here, auto dimming rearview mirror, garage home link, and your sunroof. And we also do have a little storage cubby, dual cup holders, your traction control off button, and your 12-volt power outlet. We also do have another little storage cubby right there. Coming to the center console, it's actually pretty big. Decent amount of space back in there. Visibility in the Explorer is pretty good. You have lots of glass area all around with its very blocky kind of design, and you have very thin A-pillars right here. And when you get to rearward visibility, it's not too bad, but the rear parking sensors do help out quite a lot. Now, as far as the seats go, the seats are okay. They're not the most comfortable seats in the world, but they do provide a pretty good amount of thigh support. They're okay for long road trips. Certainly not the best though. They don't offer a whole lot of side bolstering, and the seats are quite firm. Coming to your climate controls, we do have dual zone automatic climate control here. You have your temperatures and your fan speeds, and then you have your different zones as well. Pretty easy to figure out here. I wish the buttons were just slightly bigger. You also do have your front window defroster and your rear window defroster, as well as your recycling mode. Up here we also do have an AM/FM CD player with the 6-disc CD changer. No infotainment system here. Remember, this is 2004. You also do have your presets for your radio stations, and then you also do have satellite radio, and then you also do have your auxiliary too, if you want. And then we also do have your 4-wheel drive system. You have your 4-wheel drive high, low, and then your automatic mode. Coming up here, this is also your information for the driver information display. It shows you your MPG, and then you also do have your elapsed time, trip information, your distance till empty, all that good stuff, and then you can reset it if you would like. And then this Explorer is actually really low mileage. It only has 71,000 miles, which is pretty low. Glove box slams right down. It's a little cheap. You also do have power adjustable pedals. All right, and let's go ahead and check out the rest of the Explorer. Let's go ahead and see how the cargo space is, as well as the rear seat legroom. Build quality and materials do follow through in the rear of the Explorer. It's still nice and soft touch right here, as well as slightly padded on the armrest. Upper door panel remains hard touch plastic. Now, there's actually plenty of room, plenty of legroom in the Explorer back here, and then also plenty of headroom. What's not so good is the thigh support. It's definitely not like the front seats. Totally different here. Thigh support could have used a little bit more. And then you also do have dual map pockets, rear air vents, and a 12-volt power outlet, as well as dual cup holders. There's also no rear center armrest, which I was actually quite surprised about. And you have rear adjustable headrest. All right. Now there's actually plenty of cargo and storage space back here in the Explorer, especially for a mid-sized SUV. When you lift this up, you do get a little storage compartment, and when you lift that up, you also do get another one. A third row seat was actually optional back in 2004 as well, and you have a little cargo net. No power lift gate here. So the 2004 Ford Explorer was an okay choice for a midsize SUV back in 2004. With its decent off-road capability, its roomy interior with lots of cargo space, and its excellent and powerful 4.6 liter V8. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.